I'm going to do a real quick PSA. I know most of you watching this channel probably don't need this advice, but maybe pass it along to a friend. When you're using these green stakes for training trees, they don't need to go into the ground that deep. They do not need buried up past the part you put your foot on. Right? They settle in the dirt over time, and the tree roots grow into them, and then whoever comes after you has to deal with shit like this. Where there is, like, this is the part you put your foot on. There's like 6 inches of stake below that, and then someone's got, what's this, about 4 or 5 inches until we hit ground level. They're not designed to be here long term, and now I have to, like, pray I don't break. I mean, I'm going to. I know I'm going to break this poor little baby tree's roots to try and get the shit out of here. Oh, fuck. Just King Arthuring up in this bitch. Pulling Excalibur out of the stone. Jesus.
Crunch, 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 crunch. Ooh, we love the crunchy leaves. Crunch, 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 crunch. Hey, good morning. It is fall now. And my big project for fall is to get some mulch around at least all of my baby trees. I don't think I have enough wood chips to do everyone, but we can take care of the younger and more delicate ones. So I didn't think about showing you this until I got to the very last tree, of course, but I caught myself in time. So I'm going to show you how, what the process is, what I'm doing to make sure that dirt stays where it's supposed to be, they retain moisture, we suppress weeds, and keep them warm for the winter. As you can see, I'm about half done digging out the grasses that are around this little fella already. I'm going in very, very shallowly. I'm trying to scrape the top layer of just lawn off. And I'm digging out any, not really bothering with all the weeds because they'll decompose, but the ones that grow on like root systems, like rhizomes, like little tubers. Where's one? Let me see. Oh. Let me see if I can find one. This shit, I don't know what this is called. Bermuda, Bahia, I don't know. I call it bastard grass because that seems the most appropriate descriptor, but it grows on these little roots, and these little roots go deep, deep in the soil, and they're freaking impossible to pull out, and they come back every year. So we're getting rid of all these. Hey, I just wanted to show you how close to the top of the soil here, for perspective. That's a tree trunk, right? And these little doodles here, these are the feeder roots that the tree sends out every fall to make one last grab at nutrients before it, beds down for the winter. And this is why it's important to get the grass out of the way, because the grass roots are also right up here at the surface. They're competing for water, nutrients, space, all that good stuff. All right, dirt is exposed, weeds are removed out to the drip line of the tree. Got some of last year's straw there, and some of last year's flower friends that hopefully will drop seeds and sprout anew. And naturally, as soon as I started pulling out paper, the wind kicked up. Because sylphs think they are funny. But I'm taking packing paper, and got probably not enough layers. I've got 2 at a time here, but I'm running out of it. I've got a couple of sheets of paper down. I'm weighing them down in the center with some pea gravel, and the pea gravel around the trunk is supposed to also help deter little nibblers like moles, voles, shrews, rabbits, field mice, stuff like that like to chomp on the tender bark of baby trees. I'm going to extend the paper all the way out, cover all of the empty dirt area that I just made, and then I'm going to put cardboard on top of it. Something like that anyway. I would have liked a better layer of cardboard down to fill in those gaps. I'm not really happy with it, but it's better than nothing. Same thing, at this point I've done like 15 trees and I'm just running out of cardboard, so it's going to get what it gets. Now, I'm going to apply wood chip mulch to the top of this. Halfway done. I'm trying to eyeball the mulch and keep it around 3 to 4 inches. But if it's a little thicker or a little thinner in some spots, that's not the end of the world. Nature doesn't measure her mulch. For example, I've got it a little bit thinner over by the marigolds there, so if they do drop seeds, hopefully they actually reach the soil. I've also run out of cardboard. Is that the end of the world? No, not at all. The paper and the cardboard give them a little bit of an edge. They're there for weed suppression, but again, we're trying to mimic what you would find on the forest floor, so good luck finding paper and cardboard out under a wild tree. They will do just fine if you only have some kind of mulch. And I actually saw evidence of that when I started pulling up the weeds around this one. I found some of last year's straw still in place, and the weeds were much, much thinner around that. They were, most of them were growing on top of the straw and not up through it, which was really nice to see. I want to take a minute here and stress that this is not the landscaping mulch that you get in a bag from Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay, this does not have, it's not a uniform size, there's no dye, there's no fungicide, there's none of that fun stuff in it. These are arborist wood chip mulch. So some arborist cut down a tree or pruned a tree, chipped this all up into random sizes, and then dumped it on my property. Thank you, arborist. Thank you, chipdrop.com. Anyway, this is all kind of random sizes. There's twigs, there's leaves, there's little bits of vines and stuff in here, and it's been sitting on my property for almost a year now. Just chilling, rotting a little bit. There's a whole bunch of fungus in it, which the trees really, really love. There's bugs living in it, which is great for the ecosystem we're trying to develop underneath of the tree. Really nice stuff. Woo! So happy. That has wanted doing for a long, long time. My next big push for this season is to get something, anything, around some of my tender baby trees to protect them from deer. We are starting with, where's it at? Stay Green wildlife netting. It doesn't say deer netting, but there is. Cute little baby deer on the package. The Lowe's website says this is adequate for deer. I have doubts. It is mighty thin, but the next grade up from this is noticeably thicker and sturdier, but $70 a roll. And we like to eat. So we're starting with the Stay Green, and we got our fingers crossed. At the end of the day, really nothing prevents deer from getting to what they want, right? A motivated 1,000-pound animal is going to get through whatever it feels like it needs to. We're just trying to convince them that they don't need to be right here. So I tried to make these cute little boxes around the trees. Just got some garden stakes and have our Stay Green wildlife netting up around them with just little twisted bits of wire. I tried to get all of them enclosed over the tops. This did not work out according to plan, but it's better than nothing. You know, some of the, ooh, a bud. Some of them are going to grow through the net. But if that keeps entire branches from being chomped off, I'm all right with it. Also added these cool little flags. This is just trail marking tape, and it's so I don't run into the fence if I'm stumbling around out here in twilight, and so the deer don't run into the fence either, because I guess that's a thing they do. they don't have great vision during the day, so if something's not flapping around at them, they can walk right into it and push the whole thing over and not even know. I ran out of garden stakes and didn't want to buy like 30 more of them at $10 a stake, so the pear trees have hardware cloth jackets around them. This is, a lot of people call these vole guards, VOLE guards, because they're mostly for keeping little nibblers like voles, moles, rabbits, mice, shrews, what have you, off the trees, off the trunk of the trees while they're growing. But I'm hoping it deters big nibblers too. It's better than nothing. The pears seem pretty resilient. The pears, it seems like, in general, they're really vigorous. They grow back really, really quickly after they're pruned or damaged or anything like that. So I feel comfortable leaving these relatively open for now.